You're growing your business. You've hired 2 field workers, and you handle the office management yourself. Because you only see 2 guys on the payroll, you assume you don't need workers' compensation insurance. You skip the paperwork, keep the premium in your pocket, and focus entirely on the work. Making that assumption to save a few dollars operates exactly like blasting past a speed camera to shave 5 minutes off your commute. You might get home a little faster today, but the automated system caught the violation. A week later, a fine arrives in the mail that completely wipes out whatever time or money you thought you saved. In business, that camera flashes the day an inspector from the North Carolina Industrial Commission pays an unannounced visit to your office to ask how you calculate your payroll. That visit exposes a specific legal threshold. Under North Carolina law, the state counts you, the owner, as an active employee. Your 2 field workers plus you equals 3, immediately triggering the legal requirement for coverage. The difference between how an owner sees their team and how the state defines an employee creates a liability that grows every day it's ignored. Operating on standard assumptions means the real costs are often determined by the technical definitions you haven't accounted for yet. There is a persistent myth among both insurance agents and business owners that an employee is strictly someone receiving a W-2 form at the end of the year. North Carolina law does not use tax filings as a shortcut. The legal threshold requiring coverage is absolute, and the math used to reach it is heavily weighted toward inclusion. This organizational map illustrates corporate officers. If incorporated, holding an office makes you an employee, even without a paycheck. 2 field workers plus you as unpaid president equals 3 employees. However, LLC members are excluded from the headcount unless they file for inclusion. Nailing this calculation early protects your pricing long-term. Maintaining a compliant workers' comp record generates a favorable experience mod, working like a personal driving record to keep your commercial insurance costs low. Treating your legal entity structure as simple paperwork creates a false sense of security. The moment you sign those incorporation documents, you trigger specific regulatory requirements demanding complete understanding. Let's look at another common scenario. Imagine your son helps out at the shop one Saturday a month. You don't pay him a formal salary, but you hand him some cash for gas and lunch. North Carolina law utilizes an incredibly broad definition of headcount, including casual weekend help, part-time hourly labor, and even family members are all actively counted. The second your son's Saturday shift starts, your 2 full-time workers turn into 3 total employees. Your business immediately requires an active policy. If you ignore that requirement, the financial exposure scales instantly. Suppose one of your field workers suffers a severe back injury during that same Saturday shift. As an uninsured employer, you are now personally liable for a $50,000 medical claim. This diagram shows what happens when the protection of subrogation is absent. Subrogation allows an insurance company to chase down third parties responsible for an accident. Without a policy, that mechanism is gone, leaving your business entirely exposed to the incoming liability. Misunderstanding the definition of a casual employee turns a minor weekend favor into a financial disaster capable of ending the company. When faced with an injury claim, an uninsured owner might try a final fallback plan, attempting to pay the worker's medical bills out of pocket to avoid drawing the state's attention. The state will not let you settle matters quietly. If you are found operating without insurance, the Industrial Commission assesses up to $100 per day you lack coverage. This chart compares that compounded math. A year without coverage results in a $36,500 fine before factoring in a single doctor's bill. Insurance agents must master these mechanics. By utilizing IWCP workers' comp sales tools, agents can write more accurate business and protect their clients from the specific legal requirements that standard payroll reports often miss. For business owners, hoping you fly under the radar is a guaranteed loss. Employers need to learn these compliance fundamentals directly by visiting lockedandloadedtraining.com. Fortune favors the boldly insured. Surviving the North Carolina workers' compensation system requires absolute mathematical precision, and it demands immediate action.